Yes. Oh, okay. You started recording. Yeah. So why career is important? I'm just repeating now that we started the recording. So you can go to the previous slide if you want, Pandya. Just we'll briefly recapture. Yeah. So why career is important? It is half of your waking life. You spend your time in your career. So it's better you decide where you spend your time and how do you spend your time. So hence career is important. So whether you like it or not, you will spend half of more than half of your life, waking life in career. So it is important to choose. So it also affects you at who you are at your home or wherever else you are going. Even though you are not in your work, it affects because whatever happens in your work, it really you carry that. How much ever we think that we should not carry the work home, but the way you do the work, the kind of work you do, the kind of feelings, the kind of impact it has on you, has impact at your family time, at your no non-working working time as well. So it is better to choose the right work which helps you rather than just going and suffering into some work. It is also part of your identity because anybody who meets you always ask you what you do, meaning what is the work you do. So people always identify you with the work you do. So that's the social norm, whether you like it or not. Next slide. So it provides direction and purpose in your life itself. The kind of work you do will influence the kind of no, purpose and direction you have in your life. Um, so it's important to choose the right work. Work also defines your social life. You make friends with the similar kind of people with whom you work, or the kind of career or the kind of stream with which you work. You get connected with the people physically and virtually, similar kind of people. Hence, your social life also is affected by the kind of work you do. And finding your passion is also a moral obligation because whatever talent you have, uh, it's better to identify some work in that area. In that case, you really prosper and achieve something great in life. And also, it gives you a lot of satisfaction and happiness. Hence, you can make your family, friends, and the society as a whole to be more peaceful and more happier. So it's important that you identify your passion, your talent, and choose the career related to that. So hence, it is very important for you to choose and think a lot and identify the right career. Even if you have already are in a particular career, this is a time to reevaluate and look at whether your talents and your alignment, your passion is in the right direction. Is there any fine tuning required? Whether you need to change the career or little bit fine tuning is required, so that you enjoy your work and use your best talents instead of keep struggling on um, what you have already. So this is the important turning point for you to really review at the fundamental level, and not only for you, with whomever you come across, particularly the youngsters. It is important for you to communicate this, that what is the importance of choosing the right career which is suitable for them. So any questions on this so far? Yeah, yes, Lina ma'am, go on.
Raman said, if you are in the job which you
Yeah,
don't like,
yeah.
okay, and you have no option to change that, then what should one do?
Why do you say there is no option to change it? There is a possibility of changing that. And of course, there are situations where you may not want to change for various reasons and constraints and all those things. In those cases, what are the things you want can do? Develop the passion and skills in that area, and develop good what to say environment, good friendship, so that instead of suffering what you are doing, start enjoying that. So So either you align with your talents, your skills, your passion, and change or fine tune a little bit, or nothing can be done. At least start developing that particular skill required for that particular job, and start fine tuning your environment, which is more enjoyable. So these are the two broad options.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Right. Moving on. Right. So the Ikigai is more relevant here than many other places. Of course, as a life as a whole, as we saw just now, the career you choose impacts your life and your life purpose and your environment, your society, your family. It affects everything. So that hence the Ikigai, particularly with respect to your job, is very, 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 very important. So you should definitely look at your Ikigai of your work. So what do you love? You all know already, but we'll just briefly go through this. So what do you love? What is your passion? What is your talent? What are your gifts? Look at that. And what are you good at? So one is what you like. The other one is what are you good at? What are your talents? And then of course, whether the world needs this talent, this liking, what you have, the love you have, whether the world likes it or not. In not only the world needs it or not, whether people are willing to pay. So this is where the real important decision of your career comes into picture, right? So what you love and what are you good at, that is the passion. There is a commonality between what you love and what are your skills. You have the passion, right? And if you are good at something and you are also getting paid, that is a profession. And what the world needs and you are getting paid, then that is vacation. And what you love and what the world needs, that is your mission, right? And there are also other intersecting points where between passion and mission, love, passion and mission, it's delight and fulfillment, but no wealth. Between mission, needs and vacation, excitement and complacency, but sense of uncertainty is there. Between vacation, what you get paid for, and profession, comfortable but feeling emptiness. Between profession, what you are good at, and passion, it is satisfaction but feeling uneasiness. So you have to really find the intersection of all four of them so that you get your ikigai, where you are peaceful, you are really achieving your purpose of your life. So with respect to your job, your career, it is important to find the ikigai and keep fine tuning that. See, today you may be there, but it may not be the full fledged ikigai, but you can keep looking at it, keep developing your missing skills, keep looking at what are your passions, keep looking at what the world needs, keep looking at what you can get paid. So even though you have your talent and you are not getting paid today, but there are opportunities coming up. So look at those opportunities. So, so doing the ikigai for your career option is very, very, very critical. So keep reviewing, keep looking at this. So any questions on this?
Yeah, I have one doubt. The
Yes.
doubt is this ikigai, right? So ikigai, after this UMM, I know about the passion, mission, and the profession. But what is vacation? Because passion, I know about that, and mission, profession, everything. But still now I don't know what is vacation. Vacation means what? What they are trying to say?
So
Vacation.
vacation is see, basically profession is where you have really put in your skills and you explicitly developed the skills required for that particular job. That is a profession.
Profession, yes, okay. Job.
Yeah, yeah. So vacation is one where the world needs and you just jumped in and you are also getting paid, right? You are probably you just got the opportunity, grab the opportunity and start developing and working on that. Whereas you
But
here in profession, you explicitly work for a long time, develop your skills, and then come and get paid. But see, for example, I'll tell you the vacation for let's say you have some family business, right? You
yes,
may not really develop the skill for that particular business, but you may just take over because the business is already there and there is nobody else to run look at that, and you start looking at it, and then you may develop the skill over a period. Whereas profession is you explicitly go and study engineering or medicine and develop skills and then get into the job.
okay, yes. Thank you.
Right. So what kind of also the broader level, it is important to understand even now, even if you are in the middle of the career, and also for the kids who are starting their career, it's important to understand at the broader level what kind of career would you like to have. So typically, the majority of the crowd obviously wants to do employment, right? They go and find a job and get paid. So that one doesn't need to limit to that. And of course, the other one is self-employed, where you start your own consulting, your own thing. You don't depend on others. You don't go and work under somebody else, but you start on your own, and you may have some few employees of your own. So here you get paid more, and it is more flexible for you. You don't need to work 8 to 5 kind of job. You can be more flexible, and you can get paid more, and you can get more satisfaction than your typical employment. So that is a self-employment, self-employed. But business is the real thing where you own your system and people work for you. Here you don't need to, in both in employee and self-employment, you have to put your effort. Whatever the time you put in, only that much you get paid. Whereas in the business, you set up the system and business and you put the people for work, then it generates automatically the profit. Of course, you have to have control, you have to have reviews, and all those things are there. But then you can always recruit people who can do many jobs which you yourself need not do. So you can look at, is business the way for you to start? Because nowadays more and more opportunities. There are a lot of startups you can start. You can go online. You can do many things. Unlike the past where only the business family can start the business. Now anybody can start the business if you really have the passion and talent for that, and you can develop that as well. And then investment. So here the investment is also can be a career in itself. So there are people who start from the beginning as the investment as the career, right? So what are the various investments where it gives higher return? How to manage the risk? How to make sure that the money, whatever the seed money you have, is working for you. So, for example, some of the business societies and families in Gujarat and many other parts of the country, they by default their children after their college and all, they automatically put them into the business and partly investment, right? And there are typical societies where we go for employment by default and sometimes self-employed. But there are more opportunities for starting the business as well, even if you are in the middle of career right now. So even now you can consider moving from employment to business, or employment to self-employment, or employment to investment, or you can do combination of few of them, right? So even now it is good to evaluate and see whether you want to make a choice. For example, Taslim is very much interested in starting a business, particularly in the hotel business, right? If she is really interested and very focused, she can get started. And some of you may want to get into the investment. Suja may want to start her own hospital, right, as a business. So these are all the various possibilities. So think about it and see where your interest lies, what you can do in addition to whatever you are doing today. But of course, if whatever you are doing today, if you are happy, you are really contributing, you are growing, and you see a lot of success, absolutely, by all means, go ahead. There is no issue as such. But if you feel that even if you are happy and successful, in addition to whatever you are doing today, you may want to do certain things more, you can do that as well, right? So that's the part of this one. So just previous slide, just go previous slide. Jagdish, do you want to say, do you want to add anything to this, the ikigai with respect to the career?
Sure, sure, sure. So yeah, Lina Madam has asked a beautiful question. So most people fall in this category that they don't love their job, but they are surviving. So first, I want them to do like find their passion, what they love most. Now, once you jotted down those things, now start as a side hustle. Just work for 1 hour or 2 hours in a week in the beginning. Start on your passion. Just work for 1 hour or 2 hours. Yeah, per week. I am saying per week, not day. Per week, you can easily find on Saturdays and Sundays as you have holidays. You can start this side hustle. Now, once you develop this side hustle and keep on developing this side hustle, like increase your side hustle from 2 hours to 4 hours, then make it 10 hours per week. After making 10 hours per week, start earning from your passion. Start earning from your passion. See to it that you get twice the income of your job. If you are getting 10,000 rupees per month in your job, see to you that from your passion you are getting 20K. Then leave your job. Then only leave your job. Until you don't achieve the 2x mark, don't leave your job. You have to continue a side hustle. You have to continue your job. So this is my thing on Lina's question. And Ikigai, I think I have done this session with you, Ikigai. So this is a beautiful process. You have to be on alert about your subconscious mind. You have to be always keep on alerting what you like most, what you love most, what you are good at. Ask your friends. Like your friends can tell you what you are good at. You don't know yourself, but you can ask your friends what you are good at. Ask your parents, ask your relatives or cousins will give you honest feedback, or your brothers will give you your siblings will give you your honest feedback. So ask them and work on this ikigai. If you anybody stuck on this ikigai part, connect with me one on one. I'll love to help them out. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagdish. Yeah, next slide, Pandya. Yeah. So any questions on this? Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, Anu, there is a meditation. Anu, there is a meditation on flow meditation. So I have done it on in Ignite Mind session. So it is a meditation. So you have to continue to do that meditation. You have to go back to your school days. You have to go back to your professional days. You have to go back to your college days where you are in the flow state. It's a meditation. You can get it, that meditation. You can get the flow state.
Yeah, by recollecting the flow state you were in the past, you can also get into the flow state currently. So once you are used to more and more flow state in the current environment, you will get into flow state more going forward. So what you repeat, it will keep happening. Right, moving on, next slide. Okay, so what are some of the skills required for your career, your profession, to do your profession effectively? So let's look at some of the skills. Not that you don't know, you know most of them. We'll just recollect all of them. So first and foremost is the learnability, right? The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. That's very important. So it is learnability is not only to learn, it is also to unlearn some of the things which are not relevant, which are not going to be useful, and then relearn what is more relevant and useful. The other important quality is resilience, because there is always going to be setbacks. There are issues, there are challenges, there are obstacles in your career and life in general. But career, whatever happens, that affects, like we saw at the beginning, it affects you throughout your life. So there should be a ability for you to really bounce back after facing the failures or the obstacles or the difficulties. So that is very important quality to really be successful in your career as well as in life as a whole. Agility, again, this is very important. So given the current context of so many things happening suddenly, so one should be able to respond to the changes, to the challenges, to the requirements fast and agile. So that is what is required, because the requirements of the clients, the customers, the work environment, the employers is keep changing moment to moment. So previously, whatever it used to take years, now it happens within days. So we have to be agile and active to these changes to catch up and move forward on that. So agility is another important skill required for our effective uh, profession. Yeah, next slide. Collaboration. This is most critical, because none of us can do something in isolation. We are not islands. We have to, whatever we do, we have to work in collaboration with others, whether it is other employees, whether it is your team members, whether your peers, whether your multiple bosses, partners, customers, consumers. You have to collaborate with them. You cannot just disregard and do on your own. So you have to understand what is each one of their needs and how to really connect with them, understand from their point of view, and then collaborate, and then achieve whatever the things you want to achieve that. So that's very important. Collaboration. Without collaboration, you cannot really um, complete your successful work. Verbal communication, obviously, this is very much required. Even though you are good at your skills and you may do the job well, that is not sufficient. It is very, very important, because people will want to understand what you are doing, what are the services you provide, what are the ideas you have, and know what kind of things you have done in your job, and how to explain that to the project, to the team, or to the seniors, to the colleagues, to the partners and the customers. So unless you communicate effectively on what you are doing, what you want, and what are your ideas, what are your products and services you are offering, people will not be able to understand and appreciate, and give you the necessary appreciation or the compensation what you need. So verbal communication is very, very, very critical, in addition to your written communication, which is also equally important. So you have to communicate to your clients, your partners, your teams on what you are doing and what you want them to do, and what is their requirements, and how do you satisfy, and how giving some kind of instructions on how to utilize your ideas and your services and your products. For all those things, you need to have an effective written communication as well. So verbal and written communication are very, very critical for your job, whatever the job, irrespective of whatever the job you do. Next one. Right, empathy. This is very, very important skill to have, because empathy is to see the things from others' point of view. Because whatever you do, ultimately it should serve the purpose of the end users or the consumers, and also the other people who are utilizing your ideas, your services and your products. So unless you understand from their point of view, there is no way you will be able to successfully satisfy the need of them. So, so empathy is that one, to look at from others' point of view and think like them, understand from their point of view, and then provide the required services and products. Creativity, another important skill, because without the creativity, you cannot really achieve something great. So here you ought to be very, very curious. You ought to be having that kind of talent in the areas where you need to find new solutions, new ideas. So creativity is important for that, because nowadays everything is um, expected. Uh, Innovative and creative solutions are expected. So if you do that, then you will be good at your career. Problem solving, again, this is very, very critical skill, because by default there will be challenges, there will be problems in whatever you do and whatever others do. So how do you go about looking at what is the issue, what is the how to brainstorm, how to find the alternatives, how to share your thoughts, and how to make decisions, and how to solve the given situation, given problem, is very important for you to have for the effective profession. Creativity is for finding something new solution. Problem solving is to make sure that the existing problems are solved, so that people are comfortable and um, moving forward. Next slide. Leadership. So again, this is very critical, because you are not going to be working alone in wherever you are. You have to have people with you. You will be coaching them, you will be empowering them, you will be giving directions, you will have to motivate them to do what is required to be done. So whether it is one person whether you are leading one person or 1,000 or 1 million people, it is the same thing, in the sense leadership skills are required for all levels. Negotiation, again, this is very important skill, because you will keep negotiating, because people will have different points of view, different understanding. So how do you put forth your point of view and your understanding and what you want, how to really put that in front of the people, such a way that they also understand and they don't get threatened and they don't think that you are exploiting them. So still you put all the points of view and then negotiate and see what is the best thing for you as well as for others. In negotiation, the important thing is that it is not win-lose or lose-win or lose-lose situation. You have to find win-win situation for all the parties involved in negotiation. Technology, obviously, it keeps changing for good, and of course, it can be utilized for wrong reasons. But how do you utilize the technology for your productivity improvement, your new things, to achieve the new things, to move into new directions? So learning the technology, utilizing the technology effectively in your job is very, very critical. That is a way for you to really move forward in your career. So that is a way to differentiate yourself in the market, branding yourself, building critical relationships, improving the productivity, showcasing creative approach. All these things are possible through the technology, which keeps coming up on a regular basis. So one needs to have the bend of mind to start adapting the technologies, understanding the technologies, adapting and utilizing effectively. Moving on, next slide. Right, stakeholder management. So this we talked about briefly. So basically, you are not working alone anywhere. You are always with the people as a human being, even just to exist, even if you don't work, just to exist. Human is a social animal. We have to interact with multiple people. So in the work, obviously, you have all your stakeholders, meaning your teams, your bosses, your peers, your partners, customers, consumers. So all kind of people will be there. So how do you manage them, all of them? You have to manage all of them. So that is the stakeholder management. Domain knowledge. So whatever the work you do in that domain, you need to have the knowledge of how that particular domain works. What is the process involved? What is the challenges? What is the best way to do the things? Hence, you can offer the right solutions and the products in that particular area of your work. And work-life balance obviously is important. Career is for having better life with the family and friends. So hence, you have to really choose the right career and make sure that whatever you do in your career is appropriately done so that it doesn't affect your rest of the life. So that is one way of looking at the work-life balance. So these are some of the skills required for your effective profession or the career. So all of us have some to the extent various skills, but can we continuously keep improving, fine tuning our skills and achieve our better satisfaction and happiness in the career and in turn in the life as a whole. And not only our happiness and our satisfaction, in turn we influence our family, friends, and society to be more happy and more peaceful. So that's where we said it is a moral obligation of ours, each one of us, to find the right career path for ourselves so that we can influence the society at large. So with that, let me complete the presentation. We can have discussions on whatever your ideas, whatever the questions, whatever the clarifications. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ramasa. I have a question on the verbal and written communication skills, right?
Yes,
Some
please.
people have this natural talent, or maybe over a period of time, they develop this verbal communication skills. Written, I think maybe it depends upon your schooling and your basic education, and you just improve on this. But what are the tools and techniques to develop these two areas, which is very critical for any job, especially written and the verbal?
All right. So yeah, as you rightly said, I think both are critical for our existence and our career and our life as a whole. So there are so many courses and tools and techniques in both written and verbal communication. These are all fundamentals, as you rightly said. Some people have the natural talent. Some people have learned it in the schooling. But even at the what happens is, just because we went to the schooling and the college, we assume that we have these talents and move on, and we think that we don't need to learn or improve on that. So we just take it for granted and move on. Actually, it is very important to go back and fine tune our skills and learn. So there are courses available, there are books available to really fine tune your verbal and written communication. Joseph, there are umpteen material available on this both written and verbal communication. What is missing is that our understanding of the need for that and our focus on learning this, right? So it is not that whether there are material, there are courses available or not. All of them are available. Whether it is books, whether it is online courses, whether it is online material on that, or coaches. There are coaches who specifically focus on how to improve your verbal communication, how to improve your written communication. There are so many skilled coaches available. So we can approach any of them and all of them, Joseph.
Got it, sir. I think it's the focus what is required. As you said, enough materials are there. Just a matter of putting the right focus. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fine, Mr. Jaya. I know you are in the work. If you have any questions, you can type it. Of course, others can go ahead and ask or discuss or clarify. For example, Josen, in our own team, I think Kartika Mani is an English teacher. I think she does teach verbal communication or written communication, I suppose. Kartika Mani, do you want to talk about it briefly?
Yes, of course I can, because written and spoken communication, it matters a lot. I proudly say that I'm from a village. I can sit with different company CEOs. I can easily connect with the people. The thing is that I have got such kind of communication. And people always have a thought towards English that it is very big and we cannot learn it. And people always fall in one category that if we know the grammar properly, probably we can speak good English. 100% I deny with this point. First point is that I always believe in one particular point. If you want to become a speaker, speak. If you want to become a writer, write. If you want to become a dancer, dance. The point is that you have to explore it. People always have one imagination that if everything is set, if I know the fundamentals of grammar, if I know the fundamental of English, then only I'll start speaking, then only I'll start writing. No, that is a wrong strategy. When I'm handling batches to the teenage kids and to the adult, I always keep one particular point, and I strongly believe in that point. Until you start your practice, you cannot speak English fluently. Until you practice, until you write, you cannot write English fluently. The point is that you have to jump into the sea, you have to jump into the pool, then only you can learn English. And I can challenge you. In UM, we are all challenging for 21 days, kind of challenges we have, for learning English. Learning good English will take minimum of 30 days. A constant and continuous practice will definitely give you n number of blessings, and that blessings with that hall ticket of English, you can meet anyone in this world. That is a key to enter into any big world. So that's from my side.
Thank you, Karthik.
Thank you.
Jagdish, do you want to add something more? Fatiha is asking, can you explain more on flow?
Yeah, Fatiha, I'm doing on 15th this Saturday flow state meditation and also Ikigai session for UMM batch 4 evening batch. You can join that link. You can join that batch for this session. Ask Jayashree or any of the admins. You can get the link and you can join.
Yeah, can you send that link to Pandya? Pandya, you can post it to UMM3. Whoever is interested, let them join. So Fatiha, the flow state is nothing but there is no resistance from your body, mind, emotions, or anything, right? So there are sometimes you might have done certain things like so easily without any resistance, with lot of satisfaction and happiness. You might have done. It could be reading your book. It could be going for a walk. It could be trekking. It could be talking to some people. It could be anything where you do it with so much of satisfaction, so much of happiness, without your mind or body or emotions interrupting or interfering in what you are doing, right? So that is a flow state.
Yeah, the time flies away. Like the 3 hours you'll get only just you said 3 hours gone, and you feel that just 5 minutes like that. So when you involve in those tasks, you involve such 100%, and the time goes away. So that is the flow state.
Okay, thank you. That was really good. Yeah, I wanted to understand more of this because it got me. It's really interesting. Okay, so you said the flow state is when without your mind or body interfering with
Without interfering. See, what typically what happens is when you are doing something, your mind is always worried about something, or you get some emotion, like you are uncomfortable, you are angry, you are
yes.
so like that, there is an interference from your mind and also your emotion and your body. Your body is tired and all those things, right? If it is not there, if those things are not there, your body is very relaxed and comfortable, and your mind doesn't have too much of worries, and you don't have any negative feelings, and you are also interested in what you are doing, that is when you are in flow state. Every one of us have experienced at various point in time. So you may recollect times when you did so with so ease, you did it very easily, and you enjoyed a lot, and you want to be there always. Like Jagdish said, the time is gone like anything. you felt like it has happened within last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you spent on that 1 hour, 2 hours. So the simplest thing I can tell you is something a novel or some book you started reading, and you felt like just completing the whole book, right? You enjoyed the whole story, the way it has been told, right? So there you are in flow state, for example.
Mhm.
Or you have
Great.
a very interesting topic being discussed with your friend. You had so many ideas are flowing, so many discussions, so many points are being discussed. You have been discussing last 2 hours, but it felt like just 10 minutes only you are discussed,
Mhm.
right? So these
Yeah.
are all some of the examples of flow. Or you are in the nature, you are enjoying the beach or the mountain or the trees, the sunset, sunrise, and you really be there, and the time doesn't feel like the time really is gone.
Yeah. Thank you. That's really, I understand now. Thank you very much.
Right. So there is a book by one author on flow itself. The book name itself is Flow. So he is one of the real scientists who researches on the flow state, how
Mhm.
the flow state happens, how one can get into the flow state. It's a slightly complicated name to pronounce his name, so you can look at that one.
Yeah, but the name of the book is Flow.
Flow, yeah, right.
Mhm. Okay. I'll search for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyone have a question?
I think Josin, wanted what is that? Tools and techniques for written and verbal communication.
Okay.
So we'll find something and send it, Josin.
Yes.
Ramasa, if I may ask one more question. See, we got
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
self-employed, investor, businessman, and employed, right? Employed and then investor.
Right.
So currently, I'm employed. Definitely, we have some sort of investment portfolio also.
Right.
But definitely, at one point of time, we need to stop the active part of working, where that employment or that source of income stops. But what I noticed that there is money is something which is never enough, right? It comes and your needs also increases like that, right? And that's how I think life is. As your source of income increases, your needs also increases. Things goes like. What could be a right?
It happened to be like that, but it need not be that case, Josin. Yeah, go on.
Correct. But what could be the right time where you become from a employed to an investor, which could be an ideal scenario, right? Where money will make money for you, which is your, the strategy of what is explained in Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Okay, the money should make money for you.
Right.
The question is, when do you retire, right? What should be an ideal age? Yes, there should not be no retiring. That's what people say. But especially in jobs like IT and all, it's a bit hard to continue for a long period, especially unless you are that much adaptable and agile, which is bit hard. So what could be a right strategy to change from employed person to investor, or what should be a right uh, uh, time where you decide, yes, now I just want to be an investor, make the money for me, and then maybe do some passion things which you like, which may not generate that much income.
Right. So, Josin, the investor role, part of thing is, it can be done part time, it can be done full time. Like Warren Buffett does it full time, right? So you should, and every one of us should do that part time. Any case. So when we start our college and our work itself, that is the time to start the investment as well. So investment is throughout your life. You do it as a part time. The question is whether you also would like to become a full-time investor or not, right? So for that, there is no question of what time or anything. It is the question of whether you have sufficient capital and whether you have sufficient knowledge to look at the various investments and do those investments and manage those investments. So that is what is required, not the timing. The timing is anytime you can get it. So, so you have to be part-time investor all your life. There is no question about it, irrespective of whichever is your primary profession, right? So here we are only talking about whether you would like to become a full-fledged, full-time investor. So for that, what is required? Only two things, three things. One is your willingness. Second is your capital. Third is your skills, your tools and techniques.
Got it, sir. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's time officially. We are ending it, and I request the host to stop the Facebook Live and recording. And Pandian, if you have anything to say, closing.